definitely feel the heat from those chilies in the back of your throat. Whew. Hi everyone, my name is Jenny and I am a vegan food and travel blogger at Time and Love, and in today's recipe video I'm going to be making one of my favorite salsa recipes. This recipe is for my Salsa Roja and it's so simple and easy to make, and I haven't made it in a while and I was craving it yesterday, so I'm like, I should go ahead and make a batch to use throughout the week. I used to make this all the time but it has been a while, so why not make it today? So the base of the salsa recipe is chile de árbol, and I find these in my regular supermarket, and they're really tiny chilies, and they look like this, and they have a little stem on them. They look like little trees. You can see that. And then what's great about using the árbol chilies is that you don't need to seed or devein them like you would with like ancho chilies, guajillo chilies. So I like using these in my salsa recipe. If you've never worked with dried chilies before, this is a great recipe to start with since you don't have to seed them and remove the veins. It just makes it a lot easier. So for the recipe, I simply will just remove the stem, and that's all you need to do. So easy. So I have about 10 to 15 of the árbol chilies that I've already went ahead and removed the stems. And you could, if you like things super, super hot and spicy, you can easily double the amount of chilies in here. I have just found that 10 to 15 is the perfect spice amount for me. But I know people that make this recipe and they use like 20 to 30 chilies. So I'm going to go ahead and add the chilies to a medium saucepan. And just go ahead, if any of the seeds come out of the chilies, it's completely fine. They're all going to get blended anyways. And then I have 2 Roma tomatoes, and I've already went ahead and removed the core. And then I'm going to just add those to the pot as well. And then I'm just going to cover the chilies and tomatoes with water. Okay. Now we're just going to bring this up to a boil. And then we're just going to let them cook until they soften, both the chilies and tomatoes. And it usually takes about 10 to 15 minutes. And once they have softened, I'm going to transfer them to the blender and blend them. And then I will show you the next step after they have softened. Okay, so our chilies and tomatoes have been softening. And what you are looking for is the tomato to split open like this. And then it should be good to go, and the chilies are nice and softened as well. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn off the heat, and then I'm going to drain, use a fine mesh strainer to drain this, and then I'm going to add it to my Vitamix. Alright, so I have drained the chilies and tomatoes, and I'm going to add it to the blender. Make sure you get all those seeds. It really came out of the chilies this time. And then to the blender, I'm going to add 1 garlic clove that I peeled, and then about an 8 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt. It's right in, and then we're going to blend this up. Put the lid on. Okay, so I blended the tomatoes and chilies, and then just be careful when you're taking the top off your blender, just because the spice from the chilies can come at you and you can start coughing, so just be careful. And it's really good. So I'm going to go ahead and heat about a teaspoon of vegetable oil. Today I'm using avocado oil, medium heat. And you want to develop more flavors in the salsa, and this is done by adding a little bit of oil and cooking the salsa in the oil. It just brings out all of those flavors of the tomatoes and chilies. And it makes for a really flavorful salsa. So we're just going to heat that in our pan. And I really like serving this salsa on tacos. This isn't really a salsa you would, dip with tortilla chips. This is more like as an accompaniment salsa to your meal, especially on tacos. It's very good. Just gonna heat that. Okay, so the oil is hot, so we are going to carefully pour in our salsa mixture. be careful with sizzle. Alright, so we'll give it a stir. Yeah, just be careful. And then in a lot of Mexican recipes, things like to splatter like that, especially with tomatoes. But it just means it's going to be delicious. So I'll give this a stir. And then I just like to cook this about 5 minutes in the oil, and then it'll be good to go. And then if I'm not serving this right away, I will put it in a container and just store it in the fridge. And then when I'm ready to serve it throughout the week, I will take it out and let it warm up or come up to at least room temperature before serving it. You really don't want cold salsa on top of like your tacos. At least I don't think so. Just let that cook a little bit and it'll be good to go. So our salsa roja has been cooking for a few minutes and it has thickened. It's what you are looking for. It's nice and thick and coughed a few times from the spice, but it's just going to be so good. I do like to taste it though, just to make sure it has enough salt on it. I don't need to add any more. So I'm just going to give it a little dab. Woo! You definitely feel the heat from those chilies in the back of your throat. Whew, it catches up with you. You definitely only need a little bit of the salsa when you are serving it with your entree. Just a tiny bit goes a long way with the salsa roja. If you like to see more types of these recipe videos, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I will put the full recipe in the description box below so you can make the salsa roja at home. It's so simple and so easy to make. Hope you enjoy. Thanks for watching. Bye!